Good evening, gamers, and welcome to episode 37 of Closing Shift, a very special installation as we finally have a proper video version, one time only, here in person. I am joined by Emmy. Emmy, hello.
We promise this is actually in person. Welcome, everyone. Hello, Mia.
Yeah, I can sit here. Shake my hand. We're here in person.
Mia is staying in my place. This is obviously, I'm sure some of you who've seen my streams or videos or whatever, you know the mini fridge, you know the Charmander, the room, the curtain.
The room.
But we are here. We are on the second to last day of this trip, and Mia's been here for like 4 days.
I've been here since Wednesday night, and it is now Monday evening.
So this would be the 5th, yeah. So Mia's been here for 5 days. And I brought an opening question because we couldn't remember who had the last one, because we haven't put out the last episode yet. Also, sorry in advance that the last episode was so late, but we are going to put it out today as of recording this, which is Monday, so obviously 4 days ago you guys got the episode. Sorry, I just ripped that cord. And as you can see, I'm using my iPhone to record because we don't have two good mics. Mia's using my mic.
Yeah. We have like the worst setup going on here. Right now, Emmy is recording her audio through voice memos on her phone. We're recording Emmy's camera with my phone, and I'm just using Emmy's desk setup of webcam and microphone.
Yes, Mia's recording with my equipment, and I'm using two iPhones.
Look at me, I'm Emmy. Beep,
and
beep,
I'm
beep,
sitting
beep,
on a
beep.
nightstand. So,
Clackety clack.
We are doing the best we can for all of you. This is all for you. Support us on Coffee. Coffee.com/closing shift show, or just closing shift, I don't remember.
It's one of them. It's going to be in the description. It's down there.
It's in the description. So my opening question, that's very general, and it opens conversation about our trip and stuff, is how have you been enjoying Georgia?
Georgia has been pretty lovely so far. I tell you what, it's been, you've got a nice view of the city that's been very beautiful. It's always nice when, you also have like a beautiful home. And
Thank you.
Like the vibe has just been great the whole time we've been here. A lot of fun, just like some very beautiful streets, a lot of the errands that we've run, and going into downtown Georgia for Bad Blood. It's all like pretty great looking of a city. And as far as cities go, like the vibe here is 1,000 times better than Phoenix. Because the vibe here, like, I have never had in my life a stranger come up to me to just start a conversation over a common topic. And, like, that's just not a thing that happens in Phoenix. If somebody comes up to talk to you, it's like a cop telling you that you've been there too long.
Yeah. Atlanta is a pretty chill city. The Atlanta police force is not exactly the best. Not the coolest, but, we don't need to make politics the subject of today. It's nowhere near.
The only thing that hasn't really been chill about Atlanta has been that I think the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse were on the plane just before mine.
Oh.
Because, the hurricane came through
that's
a few days before. And then, like, 1 or 2 days before I got here, there was the chemical plant explosion, which was still going on. And, like, I don't even know if it's fully concluded now. But, yeah, first day that I got here, it's like, that's chlorine in the air. I taste that. I feel that. And then, like, the morning that I woke up, this beautiful view of the city skyline, all covered in a chlorine haze.
Yep. That all happened in Atlanta, if y'all didn't see. It was a ridiculously unfortunate turn of events.
A fucked up sprinkler just, like, ruined a shit ton of stuff. I think they're the immediate area around the site, like, within, like, 15 miles of that is still underneath, like, a shelter-in-place order.
Mm-hmm.
The power of one faulty sprinkler.
It's ridiculous. So that's what we're dealing with. Other than that, we have been at WWE Bad Blood. We did that. We saw a lot of things. We heard even more. We obviously had some signs with us.
Yep.
And I couldn't have had a better time. One of the best PLEs I've seen all year, and we got to be there. We got to party with the city of Atlanta there, my hometown. I love it here, and it was your first live WWE event. Not my first, my third, but still hands down the best one for me. What was your experience like?
It was a very, very good time. It's one of those things that like nobody, all the horrors of going through like flying all the way out here, a 4-hour flight and dealing with airports and TSA and all of that. And even like, I think we were waiting in line for like 3 hours to get in, basically, maybe 2.
Mm-hmm.
Even like through all that, it was all very much worth it. Like all that melts away when you're actually there. We had like a pretty good view of everything. You did very good on that. We could see commentator's table, the ring, and the entrance.
I did pick the seats.
All lined up. And like I think I spent 90% of that night clapping, wooing, and during most of the matches just like because we were really high up, so I was like leaned over like that.
Yeah, it was very mesmerizing because you just can't believe what you're seeing when you're seeing like wrestling live. There's nothing like it. It's a truly beautiful spectacle to behold.
It's crazy when you're on like the second floor balcony, like a quarter mile away from the center of the arena, and you can still hear Damian Priest's foot connect with his opponent. You still like hear that kick.
Right.
Yeah, you get so much of the action. You hear like chops. Over chest.
You could even hear all the way up there, like you couldn't hear anything else from there, like no commentary, no dialogue, because that's all like really far away. But you could hear Jacob Fatu screaming loud and clear.
Jacob Fatu.
He's a loud man. He knows how to project.
He was screaming very loud. You know, of course, similar to how we've gone over PLEs before, we had the Punk versus McIntyre match in the cage, the Nia versus Bayley match, the Rhea versus Liv match with Dom in a shark cage. Then we had Damian versus Finn, and the main event, which was Cody and Roman versus Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa, featuring the return of Jimmy Uso, which was very exciting. If you watch that YouTube video and you hear that loud ass pop, we were in that room.
Yeah.
So imagine that. Sorry, I keep bumping this thing.
Oh, if you want to catch like a little glimpse of here's where we were, you can see one of my signs, that Terror Twin sign. If you watch the WWE pre-show for Bad Blood, they did this thing where they were like filming it from the line outside at that statue.
Yeah.
And they had everybody like doing chants, and you could see in like the back left of the screen, you could see me holding up, you could at least see the sign.
Which just happened to have been caught by the camera.
Yes, which they had to do that 3 times. And the first 2 times we were closer to it, but thankfully for like the final time, we were like just barely enough to get the sign there. So, you know, it's like the SpongeBob pointing at his hat through the window kind of thing. So I'm just saying, it's like, there's us. Right.
It was a great time. Yeah, we made signs. We did makeup. I suppose we could put our makeup on the screen now. We also did paint our nails. Yes, we each picked out a nail color and bought it, and then we painted our nails.
I had the CM Punk wrist wraps.
Yes.
Which I dumped promptly after the event ended because they were gross and sweaty.
Yeah, and as you could see in the photos, I did the Rhea Ripley WrestleMania 40 makeup. More specifically, my sister did it for me. Shout out to my sister for that.
Shout out. She did mine and yours, and it was just 10 out of 10 for both of them.
It was great. My makeup almost got me kicked out of the event. Mm-hmm. I was in line, and there were State Farm arena professionals telling me they were going to let me in with face paint. And then eventually they decided that it was makeup because it was makeup. And they said since they can identify my face past the makeup, that I was allowed in. They have some kind of policy over face paint, I guess, but since my entire face, in fact, most of my face was not painted, I was let in. But it was a very cool look. I took very many pictures because I did not want to lose the memory of that look.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of my favorite makeup looks I've ever worn. I don't know if I've ever worn a look that extreme.
Yeah, that was
it was nuts.
Very big look.
It was great. I loved just getting to be there. It did feel kind of like a dub how much like attention my makeup got. Not only that, but like the fact that I almost got kicked out and still made it in. Because like I didn't see anyone else there personally with makeup like that.
Yeah.
So I felt pretty special.
Got some attention, both of us, on the after the event had ended, and we were just like waiting on the street outside, looking up directions for a place to go after Bad Blood.
Oh yeah.
Guy came up, sparked a conversation. He was like, "Both of you look pretty good. You both sound good. You ever been front row before?"
And then he started this whole like 5-minute chat with us.
You had a gold watch. Maybe we should have grabbed the bag.
I guess we could have.
I think we fumbled.
You think that's our mistake?
Yeah, I think we should indulge every man who walks up to us on the street if they have a gold watch. You know that it's like Instagram, like fake videos of like she turned me down, but then I drove up in a gold Porsche and then I turned her down.
Yeah, I haven't seen a video like that in a while.
You can also see in the corner over there, in this corner, we got Bonnie and Marcy chilling there. You can't see her right now, but over here on the bed is Kiki, just also lounging.
Yes. We have
She'll probably get in my face at some point.
We have possession of the pets.
Kiki has been my best friend on this entire trip so far. Day one that I got here, she was locked in a different room behind a gate, and if you've seen that video, like the little kitten going like yippee yippee yippee, that's what Kiki was like for like 20 minutes straight.
Yeah, Kiki fell in love with you.
She's calmed down about me now over the past few days. That now like she's not like tackling me when she sees me, because I don't even think you probably can't see it, but I have like a bruise now on this wrist, a bunch of scratches on both arms, and probably like got to see another bruise there now. Probably a couple like punctures in my chest now, but I got her to calm down a little bit after on like day 2, after I'd given her enough attention. She was just like chilling. Yeah,
she is very excitable around new people.
Which I think now I am officially in with all of your pets, as far as I can tell, because Marcy was immediately pretty friendly, and she came up and greeted me the moment I got there as well. And Bonnie took some time to come around, but Bonnie now, like, she doesn't run for me now, and I was able to, like, pick her up out of this chair just to be able to record this. Like, she's okay with my presence now, which is as much as you can really hope for like, an anxious, sort of shy cat.
Yeah, Bonnie's just a little, like, devil on the shoulder who hides in the shadows, because she likes to, like, start shit and start fights and throw at people, but she doesn't ever, like, finish it, and she just hides.
Yeah. What a pussy.
Fair enough. She did, eventually, she came around to you a little bit more. She was, like, they've only met so many new people, even. Usually when they do, they're still, they don't so much come to us. They like hiding up here, for sure, because they know they can get under the bed, and they know they know that if they're on the bed, they're pretty safe, which I'm thankful that they think that, but they're just little troublemakers.
They are.
They just run around at night like psychos.
They have been, like, I've been sleeping in the living room, which is where their biggest playground is. They love to just, like, dash around literally all night. And it's not uncommon for when I'm laying down there that they'll, like, you know, there's the ottoman there next to the couch I'm sleeping on. They'll, like, jump up on that and run all over. And I had the fun thing the other night where one of them came up and tackled me while the other one ran off with my chapstick. So they're definitely very playful, and they love to fight each other the most.
Yeah, they like fighting each other, and they like taking little cylindrical objects also.
Yeah, they kept running off with the eyebrow pen.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're little bastards. We might get... Yep, there's Kiki. You saw her for a moment.
Hello, Kiki. Now she's just ever so slightly in this shot.
Yeah, so let's talk about Bad Blood a bit more.
Yes. We had, if you want to see our perspective of the show, here's a photo of where we were. You can, like, see our perspective of the arena from there. And it was a good view, and I did, like we said, try to make sure I got seats that involved the ring and the entrance stage, mainly. And it was really immersive, even from that far away, to just be there, like being part of crowd pops for big events like Jimmy Uso's return, for example.
Yeah.
Is huge. Like, it's it's deafening. I mean, I had a headache halfway through the show. Didn't have any Tylenol on me.
That's when you ran off to Tendy Town.
Fortunately, yes, I did go get some chicken tenders and fries from a restaurant in the State Farm Arena, but it was pretty good.
Where we were sitting was right next to the Chick-fil-A that's inside of State Farm, and it smelled really good where we were.
Yes.
I was thinking about that for most of the match, because we were going to go afterwards to a bar, and like we were going to like sit there for a while, have food, drink whatever after.
Mm-hmm.
But then since you ate in the stadium, I was like, I can probably wait till we get home. And then when we got to the bar after, it was completely packed in like sardines. I couldn't even get up to like a counter to order if I wanted to get food, because I was gonna get tendies and I was gonna get a beer. Actually, no, I was gonna get an ale, and I couldn't do either of those things. We just kind of sat there for like an hour after because it was just too busy.
Yeah, we had to wait for my sister to pick us up.
At least we got to loiter there.
Yes, and they had a chill, just kind of like seating section without any tables. But it was a fun. I mean, it was the kind of night you're supposed to have out in the town in downtown Atlanta. It was really fun, and it was really exciting for us to be able to do that together, especially.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first content we've ever recorded or anything like that in person. Because some of you may know 2 years and some change ago, we all did a meetup at Boomer's house, but we didn't record any of our content during that. So this isn't like the first cool thing we've gotten to do in person together, but it's the first thing in terms of our like bucket list item of meeting up and doing our content and our stuff that we've gotten to do like that.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to do that and knock that off the bucket list was cool. And you got to know that like we just got to be like us, you know? Like ever since I've lived on my own, I felt more free to be on my own shit, and so I feel like you coming here allowed you a lot of that too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've never gone out in public with makeup before until Bad Blood.
That's what we do.
I've hardly even gone outside of my room in makeup before Bad Blood.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, as a lot of you know, makeup's like one of my artistic outputs because it's just fun. I just think makeup is like a fun thing.
It's been very nice in the 5 days that I've been here now that we were trying to plan a whole bunch of stuff to do while I was here just to like fill up the days with activities. But then as we found, like the first day I was here, like the first full day after I'd gotten settled in, like that day we just went to the grocery store twice. And then that wiped us out, and we just like watched Adventure Time. And we've been doing mostly like we've done a little bit of gaming. We did like Mario Party and Monopoly, Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, Family Feud. I think that covers all that we've played so far. But other than that, we've been watching a lot of Adventure Time, and that's been fun because I haven't seen a lot of it. And it's been a very nice thing to just kind of lounge and hang out and watch some good TV.
Yeah, it's fun. Adventure Time is my jam, if you don't know about that. And I've always loved that show. So being able to just chill and watch it is nice for me. Also, pause. What were we talking about?
You were talking about the experience of being able to share a show that you love.
Oh yeah, I mean, doing anything in person is a lot more fun than a lot easier to have fun doing than like doing it over the internet, because it's easier to have your body moving around and doing stuff like that, sitting on a couch or whatever. It's like the way hanging out was intended to be.
Mm-hmm.
Having to adjust to kind of do things like that online is okay, but the best you can get is like having your cameras on.
Yeah, I cat down there now.
Hello.
Yeah. They got up and moving.
She is now on my thing I'm sitting on.
Other one is still back there, but kind of behind the punk sign.
She has gotten in this little crevice.
Awesome. Hanging out, watching Adventure Time, and we got some cookies from the store. That was nice. Just munching on snacks, and even all the errands that we have run. We've been listening to like EXO and also one Mr. Kid Crow, and just like riding around, listening to all that. Just good time.
Having a good time. It's nice to be able to live with someone than live by yourself.
There's a very different vibe of hanging out in a Discord call doing nothing and hanging out in person and doing nothing, because hanging out in person doing nothing just like has a better feel to it.
Mm-hmm. You can just kind of like do more.
Yeah.
more options of things to suggest and more options of like physically, I guess, available to you. Like you can make a lot of things work over Discord with like a camera, but not like a great deal of things that are actually fun.
Yeah, there's like, I mean, we did after watching SmackDown the other night, and we were just like doing like dumb bits. And the dog. There's the paw of the dog.
And now we're at a point where we're going to do a lot of content-related work tonight and also watch Raw post Bad Blood. And then tomorrow is Mia's last full day here. And then Ron and Coffee's going back home.
Yep, little old me. And then I'll go back to being a digital person.
And I'll go back to being Cosmic Emerald inside my computer.
She's so ridiculous. She wants my attention so badly all the time. One thing that I don't think you've partaken in any of my culinary confections yet, but I've been cooking while I've been here.
Yes, Mia has been using our kitchen.
I've made
to the fullest
2 of my usual breakfast sandwiches, 2 omelets, and my potato soup. And that's been the extent of. Oh no, I also made French fries, but should still be in there unless somebody took them.
I doubt somebody took them.
I made those after Bad Blood, where Emmy was brain dead at that point, and I was just like, you know, I haven't had dinner yet. My body won't give up until I eat something. And I have this gigantic bag of potatoes that, you know, because we went grocery shopping first day I was here, so got all my stuff for that. I was like, I don't want to leave like half a bag of potatoes that probably aren't going to get used up.
Bad Blood did wear me the fuck out. It was like a new level of exhaustion. I was already like fairly tired before that, and it just depends on how I'm feeling that day sometimes. Like I'm usually a pretty like early bird in the morning and then go to sleep like sometime around midnight. It's preferably before, but that doesn't always work out.
I mean, we went to bed last night at like 4 a.m.
My sleep has been off while Mia's been here because we've been just doing things at night. Because staying up overnight on Discord is one thing. Staying up overnight in person is easier because you're feeding off the actual energy in the room, which is something I'm better at feeding off of. I used to be okay staying up all night and doing it, but that was more so because of my nicotine and soda addictions. Caffeine, I guess. I'm not really off caffeine, but I quit vaping in February.
And now it's October.
Yes, it's October. October 5th. This past weekend was my 8th month off of nicotine.
And soon you'll have a nicotine baby.
Yes.
Yes. Love that was in frame.
My pets are really jonesing for attention right now, apparently.
They are. They're always full of beans one way or another.
Bonnie's just not.
Bonnie's pretty chill, except for when Marcy gets her riled up.
Right.
And Marcy loves getting Kiki riled up.
One of the hardest parts about doing this live action setup the way that we have set it up is that I just don't have like the room for it.
Oh yeah.
There's like better ways we could have done it. I also just don't have like a major amount of equipment that makes this work well.
Yeah.
Like,
given that you're recording this with like Apple headphones.
Yeah, like this is one of the best mics I have to do this with. It would almost sound better if I had the SteelSeries like GG software to help the headset mic, but the headset wouldn't reach this far.
Mm-hmm.
That wouldn't reach this far. It didn't sound good in my phone. It worked in my phone. It just didn't sound good.
Yeah, the audio for this episode is going to be so completely different from every other one. If you listen to this like audio only, you're going to be like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, no, this is like, I mean, if this is your first episode for some reason, then this is super not what our show looks like normally. If you were
drawn in by our beautiful cabezas.
Yeah, this is not what the show looks like normally.
No.
This is a very, very special event. I mean, it's probably not one time.
I mean, it's practically one time, but
it's one time only in terms of the actual
being
episodes
here in
that
person.
Are there. So now we will I guess we can say sorry in advance if this audio is not the best.
Yeah.
You're just all gonna have to suck it up and listen if you're a fan.
I'm gonna try and mangle this as best I can, but it's still gonna end up being like kind of shit.
Mia's gonna do the best she can. And next week we will be back to normal because we will record on Sunday and put it out by Friday.
In which we'll probably actually like...
It will not be as late as the last episode was.
We're half an hour into this and we've barely talked about Bad Blood as it actually occured.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be like half of the details about it we're not going to be able to like fully process until next week.
There's just so much going on, yeah.
Tell you what we could do right now is a little historical segment that doesn't have a name, but it has a value nonetheless educationally. This is a segment where I read a newspaper to my good host, Cosmic Emerald, and I am going to give the task of choosing what year this article was published out of 3 options. And this week, I have been hyping this up to Emmy for the entire time, because I found this, like, I was doing a lot of this browsing while waiting in the airport, because I had nothing to do for like an hour and a half while waiting for my flight. Mm-hmm. And I found this article that is more of an advertisement than an article for this week. That is so perfect for everything here today. Let me go ahead and read this to you. Bad blood often inherited. Bad blood does not always come as the result of careless living or indiscretions. It is a condition frequently inherited. Normal, healthy blood contains millions of tiny red corpuscles, which are the vitalizing and nourishing elements of the circulation, their office being to provide every portion of the system with its necessary strength and nutriment. In weak, impure blood, these corpuscles are lacking in numbers, and therefore the blood is not able to supply the proper amount of nourishment to the body. Bad blood manifests itself in many ways. With some, it takes the form of skin diseases and eruptions. Others become bilious and malarious, with sallow complexions, torpid liver, etc. Bad blood produces rheumatism, catarrh, sores and ulcers, scrofula, and like troubles. You know what the fuck scrofula is? Mm-mm. I don't. Nothing is equal to SSS as a remedy for bad blood. It is the greatest of all blood purifiers, possessing not only the qualities to cleanse and purify the blood, but composed of roots, herbs, and barks that tone up every part of the system and assist in the creation of blood nutriment. SSS cures rheumatism, catarrh, sores and ulcers, scrofula, blood poison, and all other blood disorders. SSS makes good blood, and good blood makes good health. Book on the blood, free to all. Swift Specific Co., Atlanta, Georgia.
Jeez.
You see why it's so perfect?
Yeah.
Bad blood in Georgia.
I do.
Now, for this article, was this published in 1898? 1911 or 1935?
18 what?
1898. I normally write them down. Now I'm trying to memorize them all in my head.
My brain didn't fully register a lot of that.
I mean, it was mostly just junk of just like impure blood.
If I had to pick, I would probably go with 1911 as a safe middle option.
You would be correct. This is the Evening Star of Washington, D.C., published on January 25th, 1911, which I don't even know why they're advertising a thing for Atlanta, Georgia, Bad Blood in Washington, D.C., but that's a situation there. I've been holding on to that all week.
Yep, I've heard numerous times about it. But there you go.
I want to look up now what scrofula is.
Do it.
What the hell is scrofula? Scrofilu, sirivu, scrofula. Scrofula is a swelling of the lymph nodes in your neck caused by a bacterial infection. Cool. Oh. I don't know. You know what? They also said catarrh in there. What the hell is It's spelled catarrh, Catarrh.
I have no idea what that
means. What the fuck is that? Buildup of mucus in your airways. Okay.
Huh.
Good to know.
Ain't that something?
I found a whole bunch of other articles that were all wrestling related, but it was more like actual like sport wrestling. Except for there was some professional wrestling stuff where I did find that there was a wrestler in the 50s or 60s that had a Persian theme and was named Sheik. And I was like, is this going to be our guy? But it was not our guy.
Not our guy.
He's not the one.
Yeah, I would have liked to have had a segment ready or something for this episode, but I didn't have time to come up with one.
Yeah. We were going to do this like the day after Bad Blood, but then...
Right.
Yeah, we've just been... I mean, just the most basic of activities has had us like worn out for a whole day.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, you can never get enough time, and at the same time, you have too much. You gotta like do with it what you will, and We're just making the most of what we absolutely can / have to. Like, this was an obligation in that sense. We are going to do other content things, which you probably will have seen before this.
Possibly.
And other than that, like we said, just chilling. Played some, like, Nintendo Switch Sports. Played some game show games. Played some Shovel Knight at one point.
We did. I forgot about that.
Just doing different shit. We played Mario Party. We did it up all sorts of ways. I'm so afraid to touch my chest because of this cord.
Trying to get a good compromise. This is as far out as this microphone goes. So I've been trying to, like, talk into this while also looking towards Emmy, but, like, yeah.
It can pick that up pretty good. It's just this iPhone mic. I have been asked another favor.
Okay.
So I guess I've got to go do that.
Sup. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. I was asked a favor to preheat the oven.
This is 60 minutes.
It's hard to do, too, because you would think, like, why didn't you just spend, like, the 3 months or whatever planning out how you were going to do this? Because I don't know. I'm busy.
I don't know.
I was paying my bills.
Yeah, like...
I was working and trying to fucking survive.
Do you know how much money was spent this week on groceries to live and water to drink because there's chlorine in the air?
Like, yes, I also would have enjoyed being able to just, like, have this room in an arrangement that was set up to do this podcast regardless. And we still have to set it up to do streams if we're going to do that, which we are headed towards doing at the moment. And besides that, it's just, like, what do you expect?
You know, I'm just now remembering that on the night before when I was packing up everything, getting ready, there was one thing that I looked for that I had to turn my room completely over to find, and that's going to be waiting for me when I get home.
Nice.
That's going to be great.
That is unfortunate.
There's another cat.
Hello. I spent the time before the trip rearranging my room to be what it is at the moment. And the reason I did that is because I needed to make it look better. It was in disarray. It was terrible.
So I guess we should talk a little bit about Bad Blood.
Yes.
Talk about first match of the night, best match of the night. Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, Hell in a Cell. Coming back after 26 years, Bad Blood. When it was there before 26 years ago, they had Hell in a Cell. Comes back, also Hell in a Cell.
And it was a bloodbath.
Yes.
It was incredibly, distinctly bloody. You could never imagine, hello, you don't need to be involved in this thing I'm doing.
The way I described it after the match was that, like, both of them and the ring looked like a basket of buffalo wings.
Yeah. Imagine the ground of a basket of buffalo wings that are, like, cheap or whatever.
Also, another fuck you to all the people that are like, oh, wrestling's fake and gay. Drew McIntyre had to have 16 stitches put into the top of his head, his cranium.
Staples.
That's right. Staples, not stitches. He had to have 16 staples put in the top of his head because he got it bashed in with a toolbox. And after, like, he landed really fucking crazy on a step that, like, really could have, like, hurt his spine. I don't know how that's going to be. And then getting his head bashed open by a toolbox, and he still went and finished the fucking match. That's GOAT behavior.
You guys haven't seen dedication until you've seen wrestlers go through all the shit they go through and then continue to do this fucking wrestling. I mean, when you're watching it on TV, it looks brutal, but when you watch it in person, you can, like, it's easier to hear the impact. Mm-hmm. I don't know how they make it done so well, where you can, like, even from where we were so high up, you can hear, like, the ring.
This is how auditoriums are built. That's where the Auda in auditorium comes from.
But it's the way you feel it so hard when they take a hit. Oh yeah. It's just a different kind of magic. Because PLEs are fantastic, and watching Raw and SmackDown is fantastic, obviously.
And it's no bias, but Bad Blood was the best PLE, and I will not be taking questions.
Bad Blood was definitely my second favorite PLE to WrestleMania 40 this year. WrestleMania 40, I just think, was, like, magical. I think in terms of non-WrestleMania related PLEs, I think it was the best one. There is still a Crown Jewel and Survivor Series, and then, like, one other PLE left this year. So we'll see where all that goes.
There's going to be the Rumble in Indiana in the beginning of next year, right?
Yes.
And I don't live there anymore, so fuck me, I guess.
In
right there in Lucas Oil.
Royal Rumble 2025, January 6th, 2025 is also when Raw hits Netflix.
Yeah, J6. Did I get your attention by coughing? What's wrong with you, you little freak? Get out of my face.
Kiki, back the fuck off.
See what I gotta put up with?
She's trying so hard to get into your lap.
She is. She wants so. She is such like an attention hog. She wants to be on camera so bad. Back up. Thank you. She listens to me. She loves me.
She only kind of listened to you.
Well, the thing is, if I say it twice, then she'll like actually like. If I say it once, then she'll get out of my face. If I say it twice, then she'll leave me alone.
It's difficult to manage this amount of animals.
Yeah, there's
while you're
3 animals in this room trying to record. Well, 5 animals in this room, truly.
When you're in person, you have to understand the outside influences that can affect you. Because, like, we are recording our show across Discord digitally, and noises can get in the background of our microphones. But that's extremely more easily preventable than we, like, both have to sit here and, like, watch all 3 of these animals and make sure they don't, like, do stupid things.
Also making sure that, like, recordings don't randomly stop and that everything's, like, just functioning correctly. Yeah, it's just really suffocating having to do all this setup. It feels like we're getting a bunch of friendship bead bracelets shoved down our throat.
Being in person is so much worse.
I mean,
I take back everything I said.
From a production side, it sucks.
It's harder.
But from the vibe, this is nice.
It also has a lot to do with this apartment and its size. And the size of this room in particular.
Yes.
Because this is where all the equipment is. Regardless, I believe the second match of the night was Damian Priest and Finn Balor?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. That match was good. Your good standard non-title related match.
Yep.
Was very respectable performance from both participants. Damian went fucking ham. Damian won the match. It was very good. Also, to circle back for a moment, if you didn't see, CM Punk won the Hell in the Cell match. He also fell down on the way to the back and had to be given an oxygen mask. I am uncertain if that was kayfabe or not.
It's probably kayfabe.
Some people were saying, like, was it real?
I mean, they've got to, like... He's definitely, like... All of them are pretty fucked up from that match, but that is, like, probably to help sell him being, like, gone for a bit after that.
Right.
Because if they're going to be, like, I don't think either of them are going to be on Raw.
They just ended this huge feud. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do.
It's, Triple H talking about Hell in a Cell, like, this is when words fail, there's nothing left to do but to beat the shit out of each other. And they did. It was a breathtaking match.
It was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
True cinema.
And it, the story moments of it at the end of it also just wrapped everything up very beautifully, poetically.
Mm-hmm.
And CM Punk got another friendship bracelet with the fan that made him the first one in the first place. I guess she was there, and they took a picture together with their Bad Blood bracelets.
Not surprised. Back to Damian and Finn, though.
Back Damian and Finn. That was... You got a pretty good picture of Damian's walkout. Let's throw that up now.
I did. It was very cool. It made the lighting look nice. It was like a very cinematic shot unintentionally. I was just like... I'm not sure what made me want to take a picture specifically of that. I think it just did look cool.
Yeah, like the fog rolling out and everything.
But it was just like, I mean, Damian Priest is just awesome. Like, that's the word that comes to mind when I think of him. Yeah. It's just fucking awesome.
He's just, like, really fucking cool. Everything he does, I mean, like, the first thing that comes to mind is him standing behind Dominic and Liv in the top of the stands with that one thing. It's like, now we know where you are. And then he's just like...
Yeah, he just stands there like...
straight out. Bros got aura.
That was a good match. Nothing crazy.
Nothing was there no interference in that match?
I believe there was.
There was JD McDonough.
I think JD McDonough and Carlito did try to interfere, but he blew them off pretty quickly.
Yeah, Carlito was there.
And that's cool.
So much to That's cool. There's so much to remember because there were a million twists of the night.
Oh yeah, there were 3 different returns, and like it was just like, what the hell? Like,
yeah, we got so much more than we paid for.
Oh yeah, it was so exciting. Like, can't believe a few $100s gave us that.
Yeah,
because I've been to WrestleMania before. That did not. I mean, granted, it was WrestleMania 27, and if you know anything about wrestling, you should know what WrestleMania 27's reputation is.
Mm-hmm.
It was a big deal, and it was in Atlanta. It was in what was the Georgia Dome, is now the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and I just keep freezing. It's tough. I'm not used to doing content like this either anymore.
No.
Like I'm used to just sitting in my chair and being there and fiddling around or whatever. Moving on to I believe, what was the Nia and Bayley match?
Yes, that'd be correct.
That match started off pretty standard. It was pretty cool. I actually was not there for the first half of it, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, because that was when you were going to Tendy Town.
I went to go get some food and went to the bathroom, yeah, and then I came back. And then after I came back, we had a Tiffy entrance. It was Tiffy time.
Yeah.
And she came out, and everyone got excited. We were all chanting, like, cash it in, cash it in. And then she almost did, and it was really exciting. Everyone stood up when Tiffy came out.
She couldn't cash it in because Nia Jax had flopped over on the ref earlier and knocked him out.
Nia Jax also had done the, Undertaker sit-up and looked at her.
Yes.
So, didn't go well for Tiffy. So we did not get the Tiffy cash-in, which is unfortunate because we wanted to.
Yeah, they're holding that one out. There were a couple moments that really seemed like they were about to, it should have been the moment for them to happen, that then got delayed even further. And I think that is going to be a point of controversy, is that now, of course, it's Nia Jax being women's world champion is not, a position anybody wants her in.
Right.
And prolonging Tiffany Stratton taking that title from her, I think, is not a great move, because the people are ready for that title to be out of her hands.
Right.
And I think that's just a bit there's no point in teasing it at that amount. I guess that's really all there is to say about that match, Nia Jax, Bayley. It was just, it was a match.
It sure was.
It is pretty nice though that by the latter half of it, the audience was able to get into it. It regardless of the actual quality of the match, if it's just a standard kind of match, nothing too special, nothing crazy, it is still. There they go. I think that standard matches become bad matches when the audience isn't into it. The crowd being able to start, getting into chants, getting a bit more hype towards the latter half, I think saved that match. If the audience very well could have just let it die.
Yeah, you have to sometimes just play into it and accept what's going on so that you can get the best out of the experience.
Yeah.
Even if you're just watching at home, you just have to play into the I feel like those people who are wrestling is just all scripted and fake. That's because you can't suspend your disbelief. How you go to the movie theater and you know that all that shit is fake, but you're still emotionally invested in it. Wrestling is the same thing. It's just on a more real level, because a lot of it is real.
Things are wrestling, it is annoying when people just talk about it being fake, because it's not just that. It's you step into, when you watch wrestling, you are expected to step into the ring. The world of wrestling is not the world we live in. The world of wrestling is the world of wrestling, and you have to visit that world.
Right.
You can't look at it from the outside and be like, that's not real. You engage with it, indulge yourself. If you're going, if you're going to go there to have a fun time, try to have fun. It's not just going to give fun to you if you're not trying to have fun. Next match after that would have been Rhea Ripley versus
Liv Morgan
and Dominic Mysterio hanging in a shark cage above the ring.
Yes. That
was all around, up until the ending of the match, that was a pretty good match. I mean, it is good to see, even though Rhea Ripley is very, very cool, she's very strong. It is nice to see Liv Morgan get her licks in. And, yes. You can't just have somebody be a completely overpowering competitor. And so that was pretty interesting for Liv. There was some good barrier hits in that, them tumbling over out of the ring. Some really good moments there. And then biggest thing of that was Dominic Mysterio falling out of the cage right towards the end.
Being held up only by a chain attached to his foot.
Yeah, and just being in the audience at the moment, everybody just went, "Oh shit!"
I actually had happened to miss that moment. I did not see it, but I heard it. I heard it in the audience.
And then Rhea grabbed out that kendo stick and turned him into a piñata.
Yes, Rhea Ripley said, "Happy birthday to me," and then wailed him with the kendo stick. It was beautiful.
There were a lot of moments, Stuff like that, where I was just like, yeah.
It's entertainment. Called World Wrestling Entertainment for a reason.
It's pretty great.
Not only is it wrestling, it's also plot and lore and stories.
The ending of that, the ending of that turned out to be pretty disappointing. Otherwise, like, it was a good match. It was just, I think they really did fuck up with the way that they ended it, bringing back Raquel Rodriguez, who is not really a huge name. That, you know, she was Liv Morgan's tag team partner, and I think it is good to have, like, you know, have her come back, but it felt like a weird time to do it because it seems to be the consensus between us and everybody else that, much like Punk McIntyre, Ripley Morgan seemed like it was about to wrap up, and this should have been the place where it wrapped up, but then they bring in Raquel Rodriguez, and that seems like it's gonna start stretching it out a bit too long. And even if they don't go horribly long, like maybe this only lasts for another month or two, bringing in Raquel, that still feels like it's giving it a bit of a stretch.
I don't know what their plan is, but I don't think they could have wrapped the story up that night, because even if Rhea won the title, I don't think the Judgment Day would just go. I obviously don't. I'm not a writer at WWE, but I don't know how they could transition just like the Judgment Day off of the Terror Twins, because they only broke up so long ago. Like, it happened at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
That was only 2 months ago. So we have to try and be as aware as we can that if we hold out, something exciting will probably happen.
It's probably going to be like Finn Balor's going to get into it with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is just like the instigator of every storyline right now.
Right.
He's doing a good job of it. Like, Punk McIntyre instigating some of that. Just like, you put him on a bit of a conflict and he's there to just sort of be a fire starter. And it's been, burn it down. So I think that's kind of where I expect the Judgment Day to go right now, is that the titles are going to be wrestled away from the Judgment Day. And after Rhea and Damian have their proper piece, their proper titles, I think that's when the Judgment Day is going to see some other, like, force to have to care about, whether that, I don't know which wrestler it would be, what group they might get into it, maybe the New Day? It's of course not. I think that the Judgment Day is definitely going to be seeing some big changes. I don't think it's out of the question for there to be either more people leaving or a new member joining. So I think they're going to have something, like, fresh for the Judgment Day after Rhea and Damian can properly separate. Right.
We have a whole new, like, world to walk into because of this whole thing that happened at Bad Blood. And a lot of that will be answered on Raw, which you guys will have seen and we will see later. And other than that, actually, I was going to say we should move on to the main event, I suppose.
I was going to say I had the fun thought of, since Miz and R-Truth, Awesome Truth, they broke up, that it would be funny if R-Truth went on, like, a journey through all the different, like, teams, all the different groups inside of WWE, trying to, like, audition for all of them. Just like, will you let me in the Judgment Day? No. Will you let me in the New Day? No. Just R-Truth. I'd love a storyline of R-Truth trying to find a new home.
That would be pretty funny.
Move on to the main event.
Right. Oh,
something happened in between the main event, though. Gunther.
Oh, that is true. We had a sparking moment between Gunther and Goldberg, who just happened to be in attendance. Goldberg was there. Triple H came out to announce a new title and a new gimmick for Crown Jewel, where the current reigning undisputed WWE champion and the current reigning World Heavyweight champion will face at that show for the Crown Jewel Championship. I'm assuming that just will be every year like that.
Yeah.
And during that, Gunther came out as the World Heavyweight champion he currently is, and might not be by the end of tonight. And he just kind of started talking shit on Goldberg, who was in the front row, and started saying he was kidding when he said he was his favorite wrestler growing up. And then Goldberg stood up and jumped a barricade, and it kind of started breaking out into a fight. Mm-hmm. And both men were held back, but then Goldberg's music hit and people were chanting Goldberg. So that was a fun little segment. We had some fun little mic work things during the show.
Yeah.
That was the main one, but we did.
And then also in that, Sami Zayn using the opportunity to jump in and jump Gunther.
That's right. Gunther. I forgot that happened, but Sami Zayn did come out and jump Gunther after that happened.
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Didn't know main event Sami Zayn was going to be in my city.
Doing a dance.
He's in his head doing the dance.
Which means that I think overall, I got to see basically all of my favorites. Because I love Sami Zayn. I love Damian Priest. Love CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. I love both of my boys equally, although I was only rooting for Punk.
Yes.
Only cheering for him.
Cody.
Yeah, seeing
Roman.
Cody, Roman, but
Jimmy.
Other
Triple H.
Thinking of like other like appearances of like all the wrestlers that were there. They're like really like the big ones for me, but like Rhea as well. Even like as much as he's a shit, I can't help but love Dominic Mysterio. So, like somewhere in my heart, I love him as a heel. So I was very happy to see him.
He's a little piece of shit.
He is. It's, you know, I hate him. I hate his guts. He's the worst, but God, I love seeing him.
He makes for interesting TV.
He does.
I'll give him that.
He doesn't wash his hands, though.
No, he doesn't, according to me.
Let's talk about main event.
Now we can move on to the main event. Yes, it was Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. Too. It was just Cody and Roman needing to team up, I guess, to take down the Bloodline to some degree. We got quite a ways into the match. Cody was in getting beat up, and then he eventually was able to get the tag into Roman, which was received with a huge pop. And once Roman came in, eventually he was kind of like beaten down and out. I think Cody came back in at one point, and then Roman came back in.
Yep.
And while that was happening, he was down, and Solo was kind of like getting ready to give him the Samoan spike. And then you see this hooded figure standing, or sorry, first off, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa came out to cause trouble.
Yep.
And after they were causing trouble for a while and guarding the edge of the ring, you saw this hooded figure appear from under the ring. And you're like, who the fuck is that? And then Tama Tonga goes to pull his shoulder, and he hits super kick, takes off the hoodie. It's revealed to be Jimmy Uso is back.
Hell yeah.
You see those very noticeable dreads, and it was the biggest pop of like the whole night, I think.
I could tell just from the moment I saw the super kicks. I was like, oh my God.
Oh yeah. It was a beautiful return. It was amazing. Jimmy helped distract Solo. Roman got the spear, won the match. And afterwards, Jimmy and Roman embraced in a hug in the middle of the ring. Also to a huge pop.
Yep.
And then Cody came back in, and they just kind of had their own respectful ending. But then the Bloodline started beating up on Cody Rhodes as Jimmy and Roman were walking away from the ring. And then Jimmy was like, I'm going to do what you're going to do. You gave him your word. Are we going to go back?
He said he's with you. He gave you his word.
And then Roman decided we're going to go help Cody. So they did. And they had kind of a respectful moment to end out the show.
Which I think is like a 2% shift towards Roman being more face.
Oh, yeah.
He's starting to make that shift a bit more.
I think that's 100% the direction they're heading.
Which is pretty great.
And they had that moment, and it was very cool. And it was kind of just respectful. And then we started to smell what The Rock was cooking. Because The Rock just showed up out of fucking nowhere. The lights got blue, and then you just heard it. And it was just a crazy-ass pop. He counted down from like 3 with his fingers, or counted up to 3.
At that point, I had already like screamed my throat out to a good extent, especially for Cody Rhodes' entrance. There was a great like marching band segment for like playing his theme before his actual theme when he walked out. And so the crowd was singing for both of those. And it's definitely a very fun moment getting to be there for Cody Rhodes' theme. Any theme that has like that kind of like interactive element is just a great time.
Mm-hmm.
But at that point, I already screamed my throat out. And when Rocky came in, I was so confused in that moment. And I wasn't like cheering. I wasn't booing. I was just, all I could say was like, why? Why the fuck are you here?
When The Rock's music hit and I heard it, I was just like jaw agape. I was just like, what? Like, I don't know if confused is the right word, but I certainly was shocked. I was not expecting to get The Rock return.
I'm not a fan of Mr. Johnson himself, so I was like, this fucking guy.
I wasn't really like mad or excited. I was just like, what the fuck? And then he just walked out and he gave his like 1, 2, 3 count, whatever, really slowly, and then he gave like a knife across the throat motion with his hand, and then he left. And that's something only The Rock could really do. So I'm assuming on SmackDown all of these different things will continue. It seems like there is something to do with Rock pulling some strings in terms of the new bloodline.
Now, something
we'll have to figure that out.
We are going to have to see that it was only captured by fans after the show. They didn't have professional cameras or anything on it. They relied solely on it being like this almost like ARG kind of thing of fans like recording Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens outside of his trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin Owens just fucking like beat the shit out of Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
And the best I can understand of it is Kevin Owens being pissed that he teamed with Roman. But I think that we're going to see like a heel turn for Kevin. I was thinking before that we were going to have like a Cody heel turn as he teams with Roman, that it's like, why are you teaming with the enemy? But now Roman isn't really much of an enemy. And he doesn't really have much power outside of his like few people that still side with, because the bloodline is now mostly Solo. So his power is mostly like his small, like closest confidants. He's not the biggest evil right now. So no, we're not going to get Cody heel turn, but we are going to get Kevin.
That's kind of the part that they want out of PLEs, is they kind of leave you asking more questions than answers they give you. This was a good one for that. You know, obviously, like, WrestleMania 40 wrapped up a lot of things. It concluded a lot of things. We knew where a lot of things were ending because of it.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those PLEs, like, it happened with SummerSlam, it happened Bad Blood, where you're just like, what the fuck did all of that mean? That is just pure engagement
I guess
farming.
Money in the Bank, we also were like really confused after that.
Money in the Bank also happened because Punk screwed McIntyre out of the championship for the third time.
Yeah.
At that point. Or no, I think Clash at the Castle had already happened.
I think so.
Or maybe not.
I don't remember too
well. It was
well.
for like the second or third time.
All of you can go back and listen to our episodes on it and tell us we're wrong.
I believe Backlash was the first time he screwed him. But Bad Blood did happen. And Bad Blood was shed.
It was. It was a lot of blood just there in the first match.
Yeah.
I think overall it is like it's as close to a 10 out of a 10 as I think a PLE can get for me.
It was beautiful.
It was like, you know, no bias just for having been there in person. Like even like going and watching clips of it, and like one fun thing is that, you know, rewatching Bad Blood online is that we're going to get to hear like the commentators table, which you can't hear in the arena.
Yes.
So that's going to be like a fun added bonus, is hearing Michael Cole.
It's a lot of fun to hear the commentators. It sells a lot of the material.
We get to re-experience Bad Blood in a different way.
And that's what the crowd is. We've already rewatched a lot of it.
They put the highlights on YouTube for the Hell in a Cell, and weirdly enough, they did not include Punk's amazing finisher. They just ended after the failed Claymore.
If you have Peacock and you still haven't seen Bad Blood for some reason, I would recommend giving it a watch.
Give it a watch. And
if
again,
you're sensitive to blood,
sign in the pre-show.
If you're sensitive to blood, then don't watch the first match.
Yeah, take your sensitive ass back to Facebook.
But it truly was a event to behold. Ain't nothing like it we've ever done.
Yeah.
Closing Shift has now officially knocked out a WWE PLE.
It's one of those things that after having experienced it one time, it's like, God, I wish I could just do this regularly. I wish that like every couple months I could just like go to a PLE. Because it's just electric.
It's a lot more fun than watching it on the computer. It's just more the energy. I mean, it's like you said, it's electric.
It's great when you're in a gigantic stadium watching the thing where you can actually properly express your excitement in the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can just shout with the crowd as opposed to being like, whoa, that's pretty cool. Okay.
Well, they don't have like a live chat, but I know what you mean. Like,
yeah.
Because we watch it in Discord. We watch WWE in Discord all the time. And it is fun, you know. There's a level of having the comfort of my own home in that I appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, just like doing some banger makeup, like dressing up, making signs, feeling the audience's rumble in your chest. There's literally nothing like it.
Hey, what I felt a pretty nice rumble through that, because as a frugal Midwesterner, we did get drinks before the show. We got concessions, and at the State Farm Stadium in Atlanta for about $10, I think about $11, you can get a bottomless soda fountain cup.
Yep.
And well, here it is now. That's what it looks like. It's aluminum.
There it is.
Reusable. Nice.
Yep.
I think I drank 5 of those throughout the course of the night.
I think I had like 2.5.
We were positioned where it was a 30-second walk to the soda fountain with like no line. We were right at the edge of our row as well, so we didn't have to like go through any people to get refills or anything. So I could just like stand up, walk 30 seconds, get a refill of Diet Coke, walk right back, and yeah, I just, if I'm paying like $11 for soda, I'm gonna get 5 sodas.
Very convenient.
Yeah.
I would have had I had more in me, but I didn't. I consumed as much as I could while I was there. I had a very emotional night. Cried a lot.
You did. You cried the moment that CM Punk's theme started. You were gone.
I cried like the moment the show started.
Yeah. Samantha Irvin.
Yeah.
We got to see her
because it was
in all
amazing.
of her beauty. She sang "God Bless America" and it was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
Make me a real patriot.
God bless Samantha Irvin.
And then she and Rhea Ripley and who else was it?
Kathy Kelly.
Kathy Kelly all had their coordinated outfits.
Yes, they were all wearing red.
Yeah.
One of the other women who does commentary or interviews did. I just forget her name.
Yeah, a sad
Jackie
thing.
Redmond.
Jackie Redmond.
Yeah.
Sad thing with Bad Blood that is a bit of a disappointment is that they hyped up this being Jade Cargill, Naomi, and Bianca Belair as hosting Bad Blood, but they really didn't do anything there. They were there at the very beginning to do like a quick intro, just like speaking there at the very beginning of it, and then it cut back to them like an hour and a half later where they were just like dancing at one of the like bars on the second floor, and that was kind of it. I was really hoping that we would get to see more of them because I also love all those wrestlers.
Yeah, there really was almost no point in them hosting.
If they were hosting, they should have been there, but like between matches doing stuff,
right?
Or at least had like something other than just like a little like preface at the beginning.
It was cool that they were there.
It was nice to see them, and everybody was shouting EST.
Lots of chants were thrown out. We did get a "fuck you Solo" chant going at one point.
Yeah, there was "fuck you Solo." Holy shit, this is awesome. All the best ones. "We want blood" was going for a while.
"Cash it in."
Oh, "you can't wrestle."
You can't wrestle
as well for Solo.
Yes.
OTC chants started like 5 different times.
Cody chants.
There was I think for like most of that like
there were some Uso chants after Jimmy came back.
Yeah,
you can hear all these on TV. Just watch it.
I think there were like acknowledgments for like a solid like 5 minutes straight.
Oh yeah, lots of fingers went up.
Crowd was definitely. I mean, of course it's Atlanta. Crowd was there for it.
We don't fuck around, Atlanta. We don't fuck around. This is my city.
There were even chants that just randomly started in the line, waiting to get in.
Yeah.
Although really fucking annoying was that the person came out from State Farm Stadium who was like trying to explain rules to people as everybody was standing in line. And like she wasn't the loudest, but you could still like kind of hear her from where we were. But the people next to us were just like, "What?" Like talking, just shouting over her, trying to explain the stadium rules. And they're just being fucking assholes, just going, "What? What?" It's like, oh my God, this is her fucking job. They had to do it like multiple times and had to walk through the line to do it because just people were being asses about it.
And the rules were like super weird, but
yeah,
Yeah,
because we had to get it with your makeup. That we got up to like the front of the line where they then filter you out into sublines for metal detectors. And the person there was, stopped you for your makeup.
Mm-hmm.
And you were like, well, is there like at least anything I can use to like take it off, like remove it with? And then she's like, oh, let me go check. Went and grabbed a different security guy who was like, no, this is fine. You can clearly see their face. This isn't like breaking our face paint policy. And so then we were able to move through the line. We got up to another metal detector where then we reached that where they stopped us again and were like, no, you can't have the face paint. They had to bring the same guy back around to that line to be like, no, it's fine. And then we got let in and the lady at the door complimented you on it.
I created a disturbance.
Yeah.
A few of them gave me compliments.
And also, me being me, wearing a little bit of Rhea Ripley makeup, just standing inside waiting for Emmy to use the restroom. I got so many looks. So many looks. Not good ones.
I got some compliments from people who were there also, just not like a ton. More so in the line than actually in the building. But it was fun. I wanted people to see it. That's why I wore it all over my face.
Yeah, just there for fun.
Yeah, it was a good time.
A good time was had by all.
And we'll never forget it, I suppose.
It's definitely going to be very, very treasured. And it's nice now that I can say, with so many of my favorite wrestlers that now I can just be like, I saw them. I got to see them at Bad Blood. Now I have like a personal relation to them.
Yes, you only have to do one thing once to hold on to the experience forever. And that was Bad Blood for us. Let it be known.
That was Bad Blood.
2024, Atlanta, Georgia. Closing shift was at Bad Blood.
We were. If I ever, I'll probably watch back through the actual, full feature Bad Blood at some point. I don't know if you could ever see. We were, in camera shot. In theory, we were in camera shot, but whether or not we were actually, visible in any of it or the sign.
You guys saw it earlier in the show, but yeah, we were quite far up.
There might be, a little remnant where, another spot where I can, point at.
Possibly.
I think I was, the only person up in our section holding a sign, too.
Except for, the 1 or 2 times I did.
Yeah.
I didn't hold up signs as much, but I also didn't want to.
What was going up in our segment was somebody down by, the balcony edge who was fucking vaping during the show. Even though that was all supposed to be confiscated by security going in, they got it through.
I don't know how that got through.
Yeah.
But
it could be, I don't know. I guess they didn't check, the employees setting up the Dragon Ball shit. Because they were going in through, side entrances and all that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Somebody could have been, working that and then watching the show and they just stashed it somewhere inside.
No idea.
Brings back the 80s wrestling for that. When you see just smoke going up in the stadium.
Bring your cigar while you watch wrestling.
That's one of those things, if you look at, old pictures of, wrestling, boxing, all kinds of live sporting events in, closed arenas like that, is everything looks hazy and everything looks like it has, everybody's using flash photography.
Right.
And so that's not a look that you can emulate today because the stadiums aren't completely full of smoke and people aren't using flash photography for everything. So there's not you look at pictures from the 70s and 80s of these sporting events and there's a very distinctive look to them because of those things.
Yeah, nothing about that is the same. We have evolved.
We now have cameras with better exposure.
And we have flashlights on our phones.
And security that are supposed to confiscate e-cigarettes.
Can't win them all.
Can't win them all.
Was that a good place to wrap up?
Yeah, I think we, it'll come out about hour 10 or so.
Got a good normal length-ish episode, a little longer. Thank you all for tuning in to this special edition live-action episode of Closing Shift covering Bad Blood 2024. We will see you back in the normal format next week. Peace out.